Let me show you how easily you can replace your iPhone 13 Pro Max display. A cracked or unresponsive screen doesn't mean you have to spend hundreds at the Apple Store. In fact, today we're testing the cheapest yet highest reviewed replacement screen I found on AliExpress. I'll walk you through the entire process step by step so you can see just how simple it is to do it yourself without breaking the bank. The big question is, can a budget screen really bring your iPhone back to life and perform like the original? Stick around because you're about to find out. I found a $39 display on AliExpress, and today we're going to test it out to see if it's really worth the price. Let's open up the phone. The very first step is removing the two bottom screws near the charging port. These screws hold the display in place, so we need to take them out carefully before moving on. Now it's time to pry open the display. We'll carefully slide a thin blade between the frame and the screen to create just enough space. Once we have a small gap, we can gently work our way around the edges, slowly loosening the adhesive. This step takes patience, forcing it can crack the glass. Finally, we'll open the display carefully, just like a book, making sure not to cut or damage any of the flex strips inside. Next, we'll remove all the screws holding the internal shield and components in place. There are quite a few of them, and each screw may be slightly different in size, so it's very important to stay organized. Using a magnetic mat or screw tray will help keep everything in the right order. We'll carefully work our way around, removing each screw one by one until the entire set is out and ready for reassembly later. Now we'll remove the metal shields using a pair of tweezers. These shields protect the connectors underneath. Once they're out, we can carefully disconnect the display flex cables from the motherboard, fully separating the old screen from the phone. Now that the display has been removed, we'll carefully set the phone aside and focus on the old screen. On the iPhone 13 Pro Max, the most important part we need to transfer is the front sensor assembly. This module includes the Face ID sensors and proximity sensor, and it has to be moved over to the new display for everything to work properly. First, we'll remove the screws and the small bracket that secure the sensor in place. Once those are out, we'll carefully slide a thin plastic sheet underneath the flex cable to separate the sensors from the display. This step must be done very gently because the sensors are extremely sensitive and any damage here could permanently break Face ID. Now, let's unbox the new display. Inside the packaging, the screen comes well protected with foam and an anti-static bag to prevent any damage during shipping. We'll carefully remove it from the wrapper and check the condition of the panel. Now we'll fix the sensor strip onto the new display. First, we'll carefully align the flex cable with its exact position on the screen. Once it's in place, we'll gently press the sensors down so they sit flush without any bends in the strip. Now we'll secure the sensor with the small bracket and the screws we removed earlier. Each screw goes back into its exact spot to hold the sensor firmly in place. This step is extremely important because even the slightest misalignment can cause problems. If the sensor isn't fixed perfectly, Face ID, the front camera, and other essential functions may stop working. So we'll take our time here and make sure everything is tightened down correctly before moving forward. Now it's time to reconnect the new display to the motherboard. We'll carefully align the flex cables and press each connector into place until it clicks securely. Once all the strips are connected, the display is ready to be closed. Now we'll reinstall the metal shields and secure them with their screws. Each screw goes back into its original spot. So Keeping them organized earlier really pays off here. We'll start by placing the shield over the connectors, then carefully tighten the screws one by one. It's important not to over-tighten, as that could strip the threads or damage the board. Once all the screws are in place, the shield locks everything down securely and the phone is ready to be closed. Now we carefully apply the water-resistant seal back in place, ensuring it sits perfectly for proper protection. Next, we carefully press the display back into the frame, starting from the top and working our way down. It's important to apply even pressure along the edges so the screen locks in securely without gaps. Finally, we finish off by tightening the two bottom screws, securing the display firmly in place. Finally, let's boot up the system, and there it is. Everything seems fine. The display looks great, and the touch works perfectly. Considering the price we paid, this repair was definitely worth it. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a like, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss future repairs and tech tips.